Please make sure to subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon for more future videos like this. And also share this video with your friends. How do I formulate and present arguments to others? I look at all sides of an argument first, so I know what may come up when I present my position. I base my arguments strictly on facts that are objective. What do you do to remain engaged in a conversation? I actively listen by paraphrasing what others say to me. That ensures that I am on the same page as the other person and keeps me attentive to the conversation. How do you organize projects and tasks? I organize them by what is the most important and time sensitive to complete. How did you handle a time when you had to make an unpopular decision? Talk about a decision that you made that was necessary but not popular with your team. Explain how you communicated the decision, listen to their concern, and stood your ground on the decision. Explain a time when you were not able to meet a deadline. Use an example where you were not able to meet a deadline due to outside factors. For example, there was a big project that my team was working on, and I had to split up the work among some members and myself. During that time, one member of the team had to leave due to their spouse getting a new position in another city. He left at a critical time and I had to reassign his duties to someone else. I had to get this new person up to speed with the progression of the project, and due to this was not able to complete it on time. We were still able to complete the project a few days after the deadline, even with the change in a team member. How have you rallied your team in the past in difficult projects and tasks? I communicate my confidence in their ability to complete the project. I ensure that I remove as many obstacles as possible and they have all the tools and answers they need to complete the task. I ensure there is a clear expectations and open communication. How do you encourage the development of your employees? I develop my employees by being a mentor, giving effective performance feedback on a regular basis, and coaching. I take a personal interest in the development of my employees, and when they see that I am committed to their growth, they are more motivated. What is the most significant change that you brought to an organization? Provide an example that shows how you demonstrated your vision to make a positive change in the organization. Also talk about the results of the change. For example, at my previous organization, the management team came up the ranks and never had formal management training. They did not know how to lead their former peers and were uncomfortable having productivity discussions with their teams. I felt there was a need to train these managers on the skills they would need to be successful. So I made my case to the leadership team on why it is important and provided example I was seeing. Due to this, all the managers go through a rigorous management training program that prepares them for their new role. What is the role of a leader? A leader's role is to communicate with clarity to the strategic vision to the management team. This vision must be able to be in a form of a clear direction and plans. There should be clear priorities, objectives, timeliness, accountability, and performance measures. What leadership style do you use? This answer should be based on the type of organization you're joining. You should show that you're able to change your style in different circumstances. How would you go about developing your team? I encourage training courses, soft skill workshops, on the job mentoring, and coaching. Have you ever taken on a job that you were unqualified for? In your answer, show them how you are not afraid of taking risks to achieve goals at work. Demonstrate your focus on the job at hand and how it inspired others. For example, I took on management responsibilities in my previous position to take the place of my manager who had left. I did not have any management experience, but I knew that the team was not going to be able to effective without a leader in place. I may have had a few mistakes, but ultimately was successful in taking on that additional responsibility. The upper level management were impressed by my growth and efforts, so they ended up promoting me into that position. How do you achieve objectives in a fast paced environment? I ensure that the team knows the objectives and the timeliness that have been set. I place milestones so each member can check in on their progress. How do you delegate responsibilities to your team? I match up responsibilities with each member's strength. If I have a team member who is working on improving an aspect, I will give them the opportunity to take on the task and ensure they have the tools necessary to be successful. I would monitor their progress as well. Who are the most important members of your team? Everyone is equally important. Each person contributes something different to the team, and that makes us as a whole stronger. How do you go about resolving conflict? I take a mediated approach to conflict. I believe it's important to listen to both sides and understand where each is coming from. There is usually some common ground among conflict, and I start there and build. How would you proceed to reorganize your team? I would look at all the overall goals of the organization and match up my team's strength up with the reorganization. What do you get the most criticism about you on? I have not received criticism on the same area over and over. I am always open to personal and professional growth and welcome any opportunity to improve. When I receive criticism, I work on improving that aspect and furthering my growth. What are the most difficult decisions to make? It's difficult to make the decision to let an employee go. However, if they are not performing the way that they should be, it is the right decision. It is never easy to make a decision that will impact a person's life. Is competition among a team healthy? Why or why not? I believe competition among a team is good as long as it is in good spirit. A team has to have a high level of cohesion among its members to prevent misunderstandings. As a leader, it's my responsibility to ensure that when there is a competition, that it is being monitored to ensure its positivity. How would you deliver bad news to your team? I would bring them together and state the news. I would explain as much as possible as to why it occurred and what steps we will need to take in the future. I would also open it up to the team to speak about their concerns, answer questions, and share their viewpoints as to how we can avoid a similar situation. Are you more comfortable with verbal or written communication? I am comfortable with both. However, I feel that verbal communication is more effective. When you speak to someone directly, you will be able to see their body language towards the communication. You are also able to address questions, concerns faster than in written communication. What do you do when you are unsure about how to achieve the goals of the team? You have to be open to feedback and be willing to ask for help when you are not clear on how to achieve a goal. I would ask my leader first for their feedback on how they believe I should go about achieving the goals. In addition, I would use all the resources available to me to find the best course of action. What is a leader's best asset? Their ability to motivate and inspire a team of professionals who can work together to achieve the goals of the organization. What motivates you to be a leader? I am motivated by my team's growth and achievement of their professional and personal goals. How do you measure a success for you as a team leader? By the goals that the team achieve. When someone on the team is successful, then it reflects on my leadership. What is the most difficult part of being a leader? In some ways, although you are a part of a group, you are alone. It's a leader's responsibility to see the end goal and vision of an organization to lead others towards it. When others do not see it the same way, you have to be the lone voice to bring them back on track. Have you ever been a mentor to another aspiring leader? How did you go about establishing that relationship? Yes, I treated it much like the relationship that I have with my team. I built a strong working relationship with the person. I listened to their goals, gave them advice and my personal experience. I shared my best practices and constantly monitored their progress to celebrate their success and move them in the right direction. How do you motivate your team? I find out what motivates them individually so I can speak to how a goal or change is going to benefit them. I ensure that I have the right amount of positive and constructive feedback to help them perform effectively. My actions always match my words, so when I speak to my team with conviction, they are on board with performing their best. What sort of leader would your team say that you are? The type that will support them in their goals and success. They would describe me as someone who will clear the way when there are obstacles and always has their back. How would you go about getting cohesion among a team who disagree? I would find common ground between the members who disagree. I would talk about the importance of the overall goal and the implications if we can't come together to achieve it. We would then work together to come to an agreement that is a win-win for both sides. Describe a time you took a leadership position when you did not have the title of a leader. In college, we were put into groups of 4 to complete a marketing project. We had to prepare a 15-page paper and 10 minutes presentation on a new product that we would introduce to country outside the US. I took initiative among the group to lead a discussion on how we should split up the work, when we will meet throughout the semester, and deadlines for each person's part of the work. Because I was the one to take the lead of the discussion and had a plan in mind, I gained the buy-in of the other members quickly. I took everyone's email address and created a group email to help us all keep track of our progress and so we could help each other outside of class and our meetings. By the end of the semester, my group achieved a 95 percentile on our project. How often do you feel it's necessary to meet with your team? I feel that I should meet with my team at least once a week on a set time and day of the week. Communication among teams is critical and this will give the team an opportunity to get together on a regular basis and talk about their challenges and best practices. Also, when our team reaches a milestone, new project begins, an award or promotion is given, or when there is a challenging situation, I would want to bring the team together. Everyone will get the same message that the way we can celebrate the successes or come together in challenging situations. Are you more effective in a group or one-on-one basis? I feel that I am more effective in a group because everyone has some special quality that they bring to a group. We can develop our interpersonal skills by helping those in the group who need it, as well as learning from those who are successful. How would you go about praising a team member in public? I would use a time when we would be gathered in a group, such as a meeting, to bring up the praise to the other team members. I would recognize their success in front of the group so others could also learn best practices. How do you get others to accept your ideas? I talk about the benefits of the idea and how to apply it. I would stay open to other thoughts and change my ideas in a way that we can all agree. When you gain buy in from others, you are much more successful in attaining the goals than when you make it mandatory to follow the procedure. What would be your greatest weakness? When I delegate duties to others that I know I can do better myself. However, if I don't delegate, then I could end up with more work than I can handle myself. I have taken courses in time management and learned how to effectively delegate tasks to overcome this weakness. What is your greatest strength? Being able to lead and inspire a team to perform their best and strive to achieve goals. I do this through relationship building, being passionate about the goals, and influencing those around me. What is the difference between a team leader and a team manager? A manager is able to handle tasks and responsibilities and ensure that the others get their work done. A leader will inspire and motivate their team to achieve their goals. How can a leader fail? Tell me about a time when you failed as a leader. A leader can fail when they can't get their team on board with the goals of the organization. Factors outside of the leader's control may also lead to failure, such as available resources, time constraints, and the economy. With this example answer, please make sure that you talk about how to deal with the difficult challenge and how you analyze the setback. Make sure you explain how to seek honest feedback to ensure that you learn from the failure. How have you gained commitment from your team? I gain commitment from my teams by influencing and persuading them to set specific objectives and also buy into the process. Once they have established cooperation and cohesion, they are on board to attain the goal. What are the most important values you demonstrate as a leader? The most important value that I have is my integrity. I demonstrate honesty and trust in all my actions to establish credibility as a leader. By having this conviction behind my words and actions, those who I lead are gained buy-in to the direction I take them. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon for more future videos like this. And also share this video with your friends.